Hi, TJ Casting here. Hey, TJ Casting here. So we're ready for onboarding. Congratulations. I know my team is celebrating at this point, and I hope you've had a chance to as well. However, somewhat maybe ironically, this next part of the process is the most delicate and where we see the most difficulty. And why is that? Let me explain. Something about 80% of the turnover happens in the first 6 months after a new job change. And we've seen a major factor to be how successful the onboarding team is at slowing down their operation to provide clear training to get new hires up to speed, and how capable new hires are, such as yourself, to join a hardworking team that's moving fast, solving problems, and you're trying to learn and connect those dots, so to speak, and become an asset to the team as quickly as possible. So because improving the onboarding is a goal for any good client that we have, we're going to check in with you after your start date, 30, 60, 100 days, 6 months, and 10 months, to ask about how your onboarding and your training experience is going, how it's progressing, so we can provide insights to the company on how they can improve their process and what they're doing really well. And since this process is about improving process, we don't need to know anything personal or confidential in these check-ins. This isn't, asking you to snitch on the firm. We always encourage you to communicate authentically about your experience with the firm so far. And while we're happy to listen and maybe share advice on any interpersonal issues, we're not here to be a mediator. And there's a few categories we'll ask about. In initial onboarding, we're going to look at hospitality. Was it a warm, pleasant experience? Was it predictable? Was it helpful? Was it inviting? We're always going to ask what's gone well and what can improve. And then from there, we'll go into the developing relationship. So how have you found the team to be as far as integrating into? Sometimes teams have to slow down a bit, take some time to go to coffee, take some time to connect. Are you getting that connection? And then into process, have you been trained on how the company's specific process works? Are there any gaps? And even though you might have pretty extensive industry experience, we found every company operates a bit differently, if not dramatically differently. And we'd love to understand how your experience has been coming up to speed on those differences, and just what there is to learn about, how to improve it. So all of this is just asked from a mindset of, what can we learn to help improve the onboarding process helpfulness for the next new hire? And I got to say, onboarding is hard for every company. And so encouragement also goes a long ways towards, helping teams be motivated for the hiring process and the onboarding process. I've seen this encouragement be very eagerly received. And because great onboarding often really doesn't get the recognition it deserves, because paradoxically, if it's done well, you don't really notice it, right? Kind of an interesting thing about it. So your observations, once we collect your feedback in, usually it's a phone or a Zoom call that we'll schedule with you, we'll take notes on that. It will be shared in a very kind and respectful manner, helping the team to improve. So this is never, you don't have to worry about backlash or what have you. And if you are worried about backlash, you can share that with us. You're always welcome to share this information and feedback to the team directly. We've just found that sometimes the teams we work with are so busy performing that slowing down to review the onboarding process can be challenging to accomplish. Oftentimes, this reflective process helps identify some kind of a gap or some kind of opportunity for improvement, in the training or the communication. That's fairly easy to resolve. So our goal is to help you and the company have the best onboarding experience possible. And as always, you can share your feedback with me at tj@ambassadorgroup.com. Thanks so much.